What's up everyone? Good morning. Welcome back to our channel. I just wanted to start off by thanking you guys so much. We have been feeling so much love, which just gives us more motivation to film every day. So thank you for commenting. That is like my favorite thing, is getting to interact with you guys and actually like hearing feedback, or like if I tell you guys to comment when you actually do comment, that just makes it so much more motivating for me. So thank you so much for loving on our videos. Today's video is going to be I don't know, behind my thoughts and hopefully tips and tricks on how I got my first Etsy order. A lot of you guys were saying yesterday that you wanted to start your own Etsy shop, or you already have started it. So I wanted to share some of my thoughts on Etsy as well. It is going to be vlog style though, so I'm going to take you around with us on our day, I guess, and then also share at some point, sit down and kind of talk about Etsy. Yesterday Nick and I were brainstorming all of our video ideas, so I have lots of things brewing in my mind. I want to show you guys exactly how I package up my online orders, so we might do that tomorrow. But also if you have any other video ideas, let us know down below. But today's going to be about Etsy. We have made other videos about this, so we've made like a total sit down Etsy versus our own website. There are cons to using Etsy, the biggest one being that they take a portion of your profit, a bigger portion than any other web provider would. So keep that in mind. However, it is probably the lowest risk if you're starting off and want something super easy. Etsy kind of provides everything for you, and you know, it is a low cost, because if you were to create your own website, you'd have to pay for all of that stuff, and it's a lot more expensive early on. So I always tell people to start with Etsy so you can kind of see if your product will even sell and if you like doing it. So yes. I actually wasn't going to start with this Etsy stuff, but since I started talking about it, and Nick actually isn't even in the office yet, so while it's peaceful and quiet, no dogs and no Nick, maybe I should just get into it, and this might end up being the whole vlog, and I might not even take you around with my day, because the more I think about it, I have so much to share about Etsy. So I will put screen recordings or screenshots where appropriate to kind of more develop my ideas and show you exactly what I'm talking about. But when you're creating an Etsy shop, people were commenting yesterday about naming, and naming your shop is definitely hard. I would think about your product, something that's meaningful to you or to that product, and be creative. For us, Tales of Pup was something that just came to me, and I thought it was really cute. But I know a lot of people think, like, if you were making dog bandanas, maybe you incorporate your dog's name or something about dogs. I don't know. Naming is very hard, so definitely put some thought into that. And I would create like a brainstorming thing and maybe even share with your friends and get some feedback, because you want a name that people will remember. So if it's hard to read and pronounce or hard to remember, then I would probably stay away from things like that. Also creating your first listing. So to put a listing on Etsy does cost money. I believe it's like 20 cents. So like I said, low cost to start off on Etsy. So that is pretty good. Think about your product photo, because that's going to be the thing that grabs your customer's attention. So for us, we put our product on the thing that it's going to be on. So we put our dog bandanas on a dog. If you are doing jewelry, you might want to have like a necklace on a human being instead of laying it. But you can also do flat lays, and those work out well too for people. I would keep in mind good lighting, vibrant colors, but keep your colors true to what the item is. If you bump up the saturation and it's super bright and it doesn't look like that in person, then your customers are going to be a little disappointed when they receive the item. So keep that in mind too. Make sure your product picture actually says what it is, which also goes into the product description. Be very clear in the product description. A lot of people do read that, which I was like, oh, no one's gonna read that. People do read that. So it is important, and just clearly state what the product is, and be clear on your turnaround time. People want to know when they're going to get their product, and if they're sizing, put your sizing there too, because that's probably going to be the number one question that you get is like, what size is best for me, or what size is best for my dog. So make sure any questions that you could possibly think of, the answers are in the little description box, and even if they are in there, you'll still get messages about them. So just be kind to everyone messaging you. Be as helpful and the best customer service that you can provide, especially early on, because that's what people really like. When creating your listing, they also let you put tags, so you can think of things that people might type in their search and will help your product come up. So for us, it's a dog product, so I put words that have dog related things in them. For your first one, you're really coming up with that on your own, but the good thing is once you get some sales in, you can actually go on, I have it pulled up in front of me, but I'll put it on the screen for you guys, your Etsy shop manager. There are statistics for this, so you can put in the time frame and it will tell you like your listings were found through all these different search words. So now I can see like 14,000 people typed in dog bandana and were brought to our Etsy page. So, you know, next time I create a listing, I'm going to be sure to put dog bandana in my keywords because that's the #1 thing that people are searching. Also, other things that will come up on these search words, I'll try to keep those in mind when I'm creating different listings so that people are able to find my product easily, because there are so many things on Etsy and there are so many things that are very similar. So it's very important to get your listings found. That's probably the hardest thing to do when creating your Etsy listing, and also creating a catchy title that clearly describes what the product is. You know, for us, we do most all over the collar dog bandanas on Etsy, so I put that clear in the description. This is an over the collar dog bandana, so people aren't confused about what they're getting. I like to put our shop name in the title. Things like that, you know, some of the catchy words that you want in your title will also help your listing be found. The next thing that I'm going to be talking about are product reviews. So once you get your sale, you are just hoping and hoping that that person will write you a good review. This is a little bit controversial because some people say don't ask for reviews, but I do ask for reviews. I found that it has helped me get more reviews. The only downfall to asking for reviews is that you can also be asking them to write a bad review. So if a customer isn't happy and you're like, hey, can you write me a review, they could write a bad one. So just keep that in mind. But for us, I 100% believe that our product is wonderful, and I would hope that every customer would think that too. So I don't really have a fear that people won't like my product. I really hope that everyone likes my product, and it is a really good product. So I am not fearful in asking for reviews. I send out a nice little message saying like, hey, thank you so much for supporting my small business. I hope you love your new dog bandana. If you wouldn't mind writing us a review on our Etsy, it really helps with small businesses, and it really does, because you know, in the beginning you want to have some 5-star reviews because the next people who see it might want to look at those before they buy, especially early on. Something I personally like on Etsy is putting all of my products into different folders. So the wedding ones have a folder, the St. Patrick's Day ones have a folder, because if anyone were to land on my actual Etsy page, they can easily find what they're looking for. And I also like to have a cute header with some of our pictures to, you know, grasp their attention. I don't believe a lot of people land on the page because they're landing on a product page instead of my full page, but I like it to look crisp and clean and catchy. If this is your first time selling your product at all, you might be wondering about what price point you should put your product. So for us, we have changed our price over time drastically. I mean, $10 overall, but to me that's a drastic price difference. But in the beginning, when we were new, we were just trying to get customers. We really didn't know what we were doing, and now we have a premium product, so we charge a premium price for that. So I would say don't be in a mindset that you can't ever change it. I would start lower because you want to get customers. Look at what other people are pricing their product, because you don't want to be outrageous, especially early on. So look at what other people are doing and try to be right in there with the competition. If anything, be a little lower to grab new customers in. Yeah, pricing was definitely very hard in the beginning. The last thing I will talk about is marketing. I feel like I kind of already did this with the tags and stuff, but Etsy does allow you to pay, and they will promote your product and put it at the top of listing pages. We do not do that. We do marketing on our own website, and I don't put any marketing into Etsy, but that doesn't mean that you can't. There is that option for you, and I would suggest trying it out if you're trying to put money into marketing. Nicholas is calling me. Hi.
Do I need a drink?
Okay, he is on his way, so I will try to wrap this up. I feel like I've talked so much too, but I hope that I'm being clear and helpful in any way to you guys. I really hope that I can share what I know and help someone else. Also, these are all different things that I think play into getting Etsy sales. Obviously, no one called me and was like, hey, you did this to get your Etsy sale. So I don't know what works and what doesn't. These are just things that I think would help. And the last thing that, I feel like I already said the last thing, but with marketing, you know, creating an Instagram is essential for us. And so I would definitely suggest that you have an Instagram for your brand and post pictures as soon as people are buying and share their customer photos. People love to see the product in real life, and I think it's important to show not only your business photos but other people, whether it be on the stories or the feed or yeah, I just think that it's important to show it out in the wild. But if you have any questions about Etsy, starting an Etsy shop, or how you get your first sale, definitely leave them in the comments below. I really truly hope that this helped someone in some way, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye!